Death to you, father.
No!
Welcome to Watch Mojo, and today we're counting down our picks for the supervillains that are more unhinged than the clown prince of crime. Anti-heroes like Harley Quinn won't be included this time around. Beware of spoilers ahead.
Where's Henry Allen?
He's where you'll be soon.
Number 20, the Mad Hatter. Don't let his silly costume fool you. Jervis Tetch is a dangerous and deranged individual. In various mediums, he cast himself as the Mad Hatter from Lewis Carroll's famous tales. As such, he's willing to do anything to get an Alice to stand by his side.
I'll cut that cowl off your neck before you'll take her. I've waited my whole lonely life for her.
Then all you've waited for is a puppet.
Tetch has followed and imprisoned women that he thinks fit the role. But no matter how many people he takes in, they never seem to be the right one. And those who fail to live up to his standards often end up dead. To make matters worse, Tetch often has the ability to hypnotize or mind control people around him into playing the other characters from Carroll's work. The Mad Hatter loves to pull others into his twisted narrative.
Lies! Deceit! The story you tell is incomplete. She loved me. She loved you?
Number 19, Ozymandias.
Killing millions.
To save billions. A necessary crime.
You've got to be truly deranged to go through with a plan like the one Ozymandias hatched. The smartest man in the world from Watchmen developed an unorthodox way to create world peace. The story is set at a time where Cold War tensions are at their height. Depending on the version of the story you read, Veidt either unleashes aliens or a huge explosion onto unsuspecting cities. No matter what method he uses, tons of innocents die. And since multiple countries get attacked, the world unites against what they believe to be a common enemy. Ozymandias was so committed to his plan that he got allies murdered who threatened to expose the ruse. For him, all the death was worth it for a shot at world peace.
I've made myself feel every day. See every innocent face I've murdered to save humanity.
Number 18, Anton Arcane.
Arcane, you've just performed your last foul act.
I don't think so.
Everything about Anton Arcane just screams freaky. An enemy of Swamp Thing, this villain makes for an especially dastardly foe. This sadistic killer eventually went on to become an avatar of the Rot, a force representing only dead and decay. That position came with some cool powers, like causing instant destruction to anything by touch. Unfortunately for him, he also ended up looking a lot like a rotting husk himself. Besides sowing chaos as the Rot's champion, Anton has also possessed his nephew-in-law, summoned a demon to hurt others, and revived serial killers. While Joker has also summoned demons and sowed chaos, his style of violence is all part of a sick joke. Anton unleashes Carnage just for the pure sake of the Rot.
I'm not mad. I'm a genius, and I don't think you really want to stop me under the circumstances. Touch me, and you'll never see the Kit Brat again.
Number 17, Black Mask.
Pinky swear. Cross my heart, hope to fight.
You're so tiresome.
If you want my mercy, shove that hole in the middle of your face and listen.
Roman Sionis operates within Gotham City's underworld and loves spilling blood. He'll lash out at any moment, and that's something that's been perfectly portrayed in comics, animation, and live action. This ruthless mobster has a special penchant for violence and sees pain as a form of art. Joker even claimed Black Mask ruined his life by killing a Robin. And you don't even want to know what he did to Catwoman's family. Besides his thirst for violence, Roman is also obsessed with Mask. He's viewed the one which he's often permanently fused to as a sign that he's survived his own torment. While that doesn't quite explain his penchant for violence, does make him look more intimidating as he commits horrible acts.
You. New guy.
Sir.
Don't be nervous, kid. But if you keep staring at me like that, I'm gonna cut your eyes out.
Number 16, Reverse Flash.
Ask it. Why did you kill my mother? Because I hate you.
If you open a dictionary and looked up the definition of petty, you'd find a picture of Reverse Flash. The evil speedster Eobard Thawne hates people on levels we truly can't even begin to comprehend. He's especially infamous for ruining his rival Barry Allen's life. While most would mess with their foes as adults, Thawne used time travel to ruin different parts of the Flash's life. Sometimes Thawne did small acts of violence like pushing a young Barry down the stairs. In other instances, the villain actually went back in time to slay the Flash's mom. The fact that Thawne's obsession and pettiness can't be contained to any point in time makes him a constant threat.
Just so we're clear, after I kill you, I'm going to kill them, and then I'm going to kill your father. I always win. Fly!
Number 15, Thanos.
They called me a madman. And what I predicted came to pass.
Congratulations, you're a prophet.
I'm a survivor.
Thanos isn't called the Mad Titan for nothing. Besides being arguably one of the most powerful threats in the Marvel Universe, he's also one of the most disturbed. Thanos has unleashed mass destructions on cosmic scales, all because he has a crush on the physical embodiment of death. Thanos doesn't just have the hots for Mistress Death. He's got a twisted infatuation with her. He's so obsessed with courting her that he's gone so far as to try and murder all life in the universe. But we can't always blame death. In worlds where Thanos isn't trying to get her phone number, he still comes up with reasons to obliterate countless lives. The Mad Titan seems to earn his title in every reality.
I will shred this universe down to its last atom. And then, with the stones you've collected for me, create a new one.
Number 14, Blackhand. While dying is usually the end of many journeys, it was only the beginning for William Hand.
I am the herald of the blackest night. I am the black hand that will snuff out the light.
Obsessed with death since he was very young, he constantly and purposefully surrounded himself with the morbid process. Let's just say he did a lot of not so nice things to beings that didn't deserve it. Hand even went so far as to slay his entire family before causing his own end. However, William's death wasn't the end of him. He was soon resurrected as Black Lantern during Blackest Night and nearly destroyed everything. It goes without saying, but William's not exactly a nice dude. He truly values death above life.
Rather than blood or life, my heart is filled with death, and I will bring death to all. I will kill any and every one that I meet.
Number 13, the Corinthian. While Joker is no doubt inventive with killing, the Corinthian is a true innovator of the craft. A nightmare created by Morpheus to scare humans onto the right path, Corinthian quickly rebelled. He started murdering humans for his own pleasure. Corinthian's countless kills made him an urban legend. You know someone's messed up when serial killers are practically worshiping him. At a first glance, the Corinthian can come across as a charming guy.
Well, you'll have to deal with that one. Her name is Jessamy. She belongs to him. Best of luck to the both of us.
Will I see you again?
You should hope not.
But once you're cornered, you quickly realize he's anything but. And let's not even get started on what he's done to victims' eyes in the past. The Corinthian is truly the stuff nightmares are made of.
I'm not gonna stop until I've reshaped this world to look just like me.
Number 12, Red Jack. Red Jack is a creature of pure mystery. This Doom Patrol villain has claimed to be both God and Jack the Ripper. But regardless of who he is, we know for a fact that he's a sadistic force. Red Jack thrives on pain and misery and just really likes to wax poetically about it.
What I long for now is an equal, someone who revels in harvesting the agony of others as much as I.
It's bad enough that he's a scary murderer, but does he also have to be pretentious too? Red Jack also keeps a collection of butterflies in his home, but let's just say they aren't kept in the best conditions. Lots of villains thrive off of people's misery. However, no one really feeds off of pain like Red Jack.
Abject hopelessness with subtle hints of despondent isolation. Scrumptious.
Number 11, Violator. With a name like this, you can't exactly expect him to be an upstanding member of society. Violator is actually a demon straight out of hell who personally mentors every hellspawn who comes into being. While he often appears as a large clown, his true form is that of a giant hideous monster with claws, fangs, insanely long arms, and all kinds of other nasty features.
What are you?
A creature far superior to humans. A true native of hell.
He's a truly deplorable creature with psychopathic tendencies, a foul mouth, and a hunger for violence. And Violator detests humans. If it were up to him, he'd probably wipe everyone off the face of the earth with a smile on his face. While Joker might be the more popular clown, Violator's way more of a loose cannon.
This is the farewell bash for humanity, and you're bringing the party favors.
Number 10, Black Noir. In the comics, the mostly silent Black Noir is actually a clone of the Star-Spangled villain Homelander. The American-themed soup is absolutely deranged on his own.
No. No God. The only man in the sky is me.
However, Black Noir arguably surpasses his nationalistic counterpart. The Silent Noir was made as a backup measure to kill Homelander.
He had a few things to teach me after all.
All the while, he could never reveal he was a clone. Being forced to hide his identity and suppress his urge to kill his counterpart made Noir unhinged. He eventually decided to commit truly despicable acts while dressed as Homelander. Photographic evidence was then sent to the Star-Spangled villain. As a result, Homelander thought he was blacking out and losing his mind. Even when Noir wasn't tormenting his counterpart, he was casually committing brutal acts of violence. Number 9, Humpty Dumpty. At first you may think this villain just read a nursery rhyme one too many times, but he's actually one of the more tragic DC characters. This Batman villain is not purposefully destructive or aggressive. He's a large man with an egg-shaped head and the worst luck in the universe. Humpty Dumpty's actions are caused by an uncontrollable compulsion to repair things considered to be broken. In order to better understand the world, Humpty Dumpty dismantles objects before stitching the pieces back together. Originally, the villain focused on inanimate objects. Unfortunately, this compulsion eventually extended to humans. The brutal actions earned Humpty Dumpty a stay in Arkham Asylum. Number 8, Madcap. Once upon a time, a church group was en route to a picnic. Unfortunately, the community's bus smashed into a chemical-filled tanker, killing everyone except one young man. Gaining the ability to drive people insane and a near-instant healing factor, Madcap believes life is dictated by absurdity and seeks to plunge the city streets into chaos. At one point, Ghost Rider forces Madcap to feel all the pain endured by the villain's victims. But this proves to be a positive experience for him, even if just to annoy Batman. Joker's antics are normally purposeful. However, Madcap merely wants to bask in the madness. Number 7, Professor Pig.
Well, that's just peachy.
Introduced after the turn of the century, this deranged psychopath is a relatively young addition to Batman's rogue gallery. Seeking to craft the perfect human, Professor Pig kidnaps random people to use as experimental guinea pigs. Once the ideal subject is collected, the bad doctor operates on victims. He will make all types of horrible alterations until the victim is little more than a living doll.
Drill. We'll start around the eye.
As the sixth icing on the disgusting cake, the professor will often surgically fuse a mask to the person's face. The victims then become henchmen called Dollatrons. Pig's disturbing actions and disgusting persona led him to die at the hands of someone who wasn't Batman in multiple mediums. Number 6, Bullseye. Following repeated failed attempts to defeat the superhero, Daredevil's nemesis suffered a breakdown. Obsessed with being perceived as the best, Bullseye's reputation took a nasty hit after the villain lost a televised fight against the Man Without Fear. Bullseye is haunted by Daredevil, a condition that was not helped by a brain tumor that prompted the antagonist to mistake everyone for the blind hero. Even after the tumor was removed, the villain's fixation with the vigilante failed to subside. At one point, Bullseye impersonated and ultimately believing himself to be Daredevil. The sharpshooter's deadly skills make his mental breaks dangerous for everyone around him. Number 5. Trickster.
Citizens of Central City, I am the Trickster, here to rescue you from the menace known as the Flash.
Among the Flash's oldest foes, Giovanni Giuseppe was the first to adopt the Trickster name. Rebranding as James Jesse, the acrobat created futuristic and dangerous gadgets to aid in the villain's criminal exploits. Depending on the comic, James is either a straight-up con man or a rehabilitated anti-hero striving to turn a new leaf.
It's a beautiful day in my neighborhood.
The character's most insane and famous variant might actually be in live action. Mark Hamill brought the Trickster to life in 1990 and 2014's The Flash TV show. Both times, the villain had single-minded obsessions with heroes, and the Trickster had no problem using deadly weapons that looked innocent to get what he wanted.
Ooh, it's active! Run, 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 run!
Number 4. Victor Zsasz.
Look at me. Are you a good girl now? I'm a good girl. I'm a good girl.
If Joker is the yin to Batman's yang, then Victor Zsasz represents who the Dark Knight could have become. The rich head of an international company, Zsasz spirals into a depression following the accidental death of the 25-year-old's parents. After gambling everything away and losing all hope, Zsasz discerns life to be meaningless. He then begins a murderous rampage through the streets of Gotham. All the while, Zsasz believed he was rescuing people from their hollow reality. Creating a scar for every murder, Zsasz is consumed entirely by his unquenchable drive to kill. Even if unconscious, Zsasz's body instinctively tries to add another victim to the list.
I got one for all the little birds I help fly away from this world. I'm saving a special spot for you.
Number 3. Evil Ernie. Prior to being transformed into an undead serial killer by Lady Death, Ernest Fairchild possessed the ability to predict the future. This skill happened to terrify the boy's very bad parents. Following a murder spree and an unexpected death, Ernest was revived as Evil Ernie. He sets out to trigger a nuclear war capable of destroying every living thing on Earth. Putting aside the dude's ludicrously high body count and grim backstory, the weirdest thing about Evil Ernie has to be Smiley, a wisecracking face button who serves as the villain's sidekick and might be Ernest's reincarnated pet rat. Number 2. Green Goblin.
Soon, the final judgment can begin.
Norman Osborn's craziness fluctuates depending on the storyline, but Spider-Man's archenemy occasionally dials up the insanity to 11. Unlike the Joker, Osborn presents a stronger case for being certifiably insane. The Green Goblin initially seems like a Mr. Hyde to Norman's egotistical Dr. Jekyll. After being prescribed medication, Norman manages to temporarily leave behind the Goblin's persona. But it doesn't really diminish the villain's self-serving ways. Nobody's sound of mind would come up with a plan to trick Spider-Man into believing he is a clone or to replace Aunt May with an actress. And in some versions, Goblin eliminates loved ones just to teach some kind of twisted lesson.
For justice is blind no longer!
Before we continue, be sure to subscribe to our channel and ring the bell to get notified about our latest videos. You have the option to be notified for occasional videos or all of them. If you're on your phone, make sure you go into your settings and switch on notifications.
Number 1. Carnage.
What's wrong? Cassidy is gone. There is only Carnage!
Often killing without rhyme or reason, Cletus Cassidy is a sadistic villain devoid of nuance. Whether pushing family members down a flight of stairs or setting an orphanage on fire, Cassidy was seemingly born evil. The villain was already a renowned killer before symbiote Carnage came into the picture. After fusing with the leftover Venom fragment, Cassidy becomes focused on spreading death and destruction. While the Joker is not above killing, the villain is rarely motivated solely by a desire to watch someone bleed. Carnage does not need an excuse to kill. This disturbing villain's incredible power and unpredictability make him truly more unhinged than the Joker.
Cassidy! Think of the damage we can do now, man!
Who's a villain that you think completely out-crazies the Joker? Let us know in the comments down below.
I'm not a crazy man, but I am a vengeful one.
Did you enjoy this video? Check out these other clips from WatchMojo, and be sure to subscribe and ring the bell to be notified about our latest videos.